So I'm sat at the beach in the car. It's quite windy. It's very windy. And it's kind of cold. Winter's coming here. Irish people tend to drive to beaches and sit in cars. We don't really get out and walk around beaches. We do in other countries, just not in Ireland because the weather is miserable. Anyway, so something big is coming. As unfortunate as that title is, I really couldn't think of anything better. So we're going to have to run with that and try and get over the sexual nuances. What? Okay, so we know already, and we can experience it, and we've seen it in the last few years, that there is an increase in consciousness. There's a pulse of energy, but it's coming much greater. Now, this is what I'm saying in this video is a result of my own meditation and my recent ayahuasca sessions. So there is a pulse of energy already started, but it's going to increase on the planet. This is only the beginning. It's like, 2012, or is it the age of Aquarius? Whatever new age we've entered into, that hasn't even began yet. We're only a few years into it, at the tip of the iceberg. So something huge is coming. There is a great change unfolding, but that change is internal and gradually being reflected externally. Now, the problem is that the vast majority of people, myself included, we are conditioned and sealed, locked into the idea of materialism. Now, when I say materialism, I don't mean the collection of shoes and accumulation of wealth and iPhones and so on. I've no problem with any of that stuff. It doesn't bother me. I mean, our eyes are open all day. We're just looking at a physical, material plane, physical world, the third dimension. So we're convinced most of the time that this is all there is. We've all been saying for years, we're spiritual beings and we're having a human experience. All of the philosophy and the theory really is going out the window. So pay less heed to the external change. There is changes coming. We're too engrossed in this dimension, in the physicality of it. We chose to incarnate on this planet, part to experience materialism. So it's not wrong. It's here to be enjoyed. It's part of why we're here. But to be completely distracted by it or to worship it is just results in distraction. It results in us totally forgetting what we are, who we are, that we are multi-dimensional beings. We're consciousness. So what does that mean? It all sounds fantastic. Consciousness experiencing life, fantastic. Now we're entering a time that each person listening to this can actually have their own experience of what that means. It'll blow your fucking mind. Your mind and your being ignites and opens up, and our minds are so closed. Like, we all think we have an open mind, and we do to the degree of acceptable stuff that's out there. But what if what you are and what this place is just so far out there, leagues beyond any of the spirituality books or your meditation experiences or any of the insights or any of the gurus, that to actually taste it is just so far out there that it you can't breathe, that the intellect just cannot comprehend it. You just have to look at it. You just have to experience it for a little bit to fucking try and digest it and try not to hyperventilate, and gradually it begins to sink in what you are. We can tend to feed off the physical changes, be it the news, anything, absolutely anything. It's how we gauge what is happening, what we think is happening, but it is the past. The physical plane is a result of our collective consciousness, our individual consciousness. It's a manifestation. It's over. For example, if there was, another 9/11, if there was a big banking collapse, if there was alien disclosure. I'll probably do another video on that. If any of these things were to happen, we would all be sucked into this information, and then we could walk around and go, the banks have collapsed, or the aliens do exist. I told you. But in those new revelations, we're missing the internal message, the internal pulse of energy, that huge change that has just and is just unfolding within us. It's like if you move house, you take your furniture out of the old house, you put it in a van, you give some stuff away, you throw some stuff in the dump, you maybe buy new furniture and it's transported to your new house. Maybe it's in storage for a while, you finally get there, you fucking lay everything out, you put in a new carpet, you paint the place, you stick some windows or stick some mirrors and shit on the walls, and there you have your new house. Throughout that, you're not screaming and panicking, why, where's my fucking furniture gone? Where's the pictures of everything has disappeared? Why is it in a van? Why is it in a car? You understand that this is a transition. It's going to go from the house to the van to maybe storage to the wherever to the new house. And you're going to hang it on the walls and you're going to put the stuff down. That's exactly what's happening physically, but most won't be stepping back and won't be aware enough to realize this is a transition and to observe the transition within them. Like, think about it. If the furniture of the planet is going to be totally fucking upgraded and rearranged, imagine what's happening to your consciousness. Just the energy and the upgrade and the realizations and the degree of comprehension of what you are as consciousness, not as a human being. That information, that experience, that's what's separate from seeing the chair being installed in the new house, or the government collapsing or changing, or the 9/11. That's just information. It's an occurrence. So the ignition within you is fucking far greater, explosive. And as you get a taste of that, if you can observe and you can be present for that, you'll realize the moving of the furniture doesn't really matter. It's something to, eat your popcorn and look at, and it's not even that exciting anymore. It doesn't matter because it's the internal awareness is just fucking incredible. And the intellect can't really comprehend that. Like, we've struggled with all our books, but there comes a point then where the theory is just theory and it can't take you any further. And usually at that point there has to be a leap of faith. You've got to be courageous. You've got to jump into the fire. You've got to take that risk and go out and experience. And for a while the experience is just incomprehensible. That of all the descriptions and ideas and theories our intellectual minds have, they just can't comprehend what we are, what this world is, what consciousness is. The human mind is just it's just grasping at ideas, and it can't really. It's trying to ram fucking God consciousness into a box and color it and name it and tag it. It can't be done. So to wrap up, my suggestion is, and what I'm trying to do as much as possible myself, is to hold steady, to stay rooted within this storm. No matter what happens, no matter what's announced, it's just information, and it should be seen as a reflection of what is happening within you. So if they announce the aliens or the next 9/11 or whatever, immediately think, okay, I've just been fucking upgraded. I've just received new downloads of information. I need to meditate. I need to fucking... And once you start to get tastes of that, you let go of the news, the information. So what you see with your eyes or hear on the radio is only a fraction of what's occurring within. Be still and observe, and much, much more will be revealed. I hope this was of interest to some people. So thanks for listening. Love and light. Good luck and thanks.